Testing that everything is working fine. Testing that everything is working fine. Okay. So the topic today. Moment. Just getting the charger. The topic today is Korean art. Today it will most likely be much shorter. So I'm just going to start, and I will talk about mythology in the introduction. There is not much to talk about mythology. It's very hard to find mythology from Korea. I have found some interesting stories, but there are not many. At least not many that are interesting enough to dedicate more time. At least in my opinion, there are books, but mostly they are compilations. Just like what happened when I talked about North America or Oceania and such. See, well, I'm going to start and then I will explain the why and how these myths happen. Okay, the audio is working fine. Korean art. Korean art shares traditional aesthetic concepts with the art of China and Japan, but developing its own style. The beauty of their art is in simplicity, spontaneity, and sensation of harmony with nature. These the maps. Introduction. Shamanism. This is the original religion of Korea. This is mm, the basic pillar of the myths. The shamans are called Mudang for women and Baksu for men. They are intermediary between the world of spirits and gods and the world of humans, and they look for a way to improve human life. Buddhism and Confucianism were introduced in Korea through cultural exchanges with Chinese dynasties. Buddhism was the official religion of in Goryeo dynasty period, but it was banned in Joseon dynasty period, being Confucianism the main religion. If you remember, Confucianism is based in Confucius, and it is mostly a kind of political and way of correct behavior. Mm, Honestly, after reading Confucianism's text, it's basically a great tool for rulers to legitimate their power and establish their power and such, because it is rules of behavior and political. So it is very interesting to see it in here, because in the Goryeo dynasty it was Buddhism, but then in the Joseon dynasty they took Confucianism, so it's like the Joseon dynasty used Confucianism to legitimate their power, to establish the political environment for that, and the correct behavior about respecting their emperors and this. Despite of this, Shamanism, Mahayana Buddhism, and Confucianism lived together for centuries. In the image is a representation of a mudang in a ritual by Shin Jung Bok. Okay, I'm going to add this picture. It is this picture. It is the mudang in a ritual. Mudang, mudang in a ritual. It is Mudang. Mudang. This is incorrect. It's not Mudang. It's Mudang. Um, I'm going to Mudang. Mudang. Okay. Yes, it's at the point here. Sinjunbok. This is the most important myth from the origin of and the foundation of Korea. Dangun Bankeon, also called Tangun, it is the legendary founder of Gojoseon, the first kingdom of Korea. It is said that he is a grandchild of the heavens, since a myth states that he is the child of Wanung, son of Wanin, god of heaven, and a beer woman. There is a mausoleum in current North Korea. Supposedly, it is the mausoleum of Dangun. Okay, I tell the story of this. This story is told in the Samguk Yusa. Well, I'm going to write it like in the notepad, the blog notepad. The Samguk Yusa. This is a collection of legends, tales, and historic stories related with the three kingdoms of Korea. The three kingdoms, later in history I will talk about that because there is art about it, but the three kingdoms are the Goryeo, the Baekje, and the Silla. Well, in this book it appears this legend of the foundation of Korea. So there is Wanin, that is the god of the heavens. His son is Wanung, supreme, like this ruler that that rules. Let me start the translation for this. This will be regent. The supreme regent divinity, son of Wanin, he wants to visit Earth. And then there is Dangun, the legendary founder of Gojoseon, the kingdom of Gojoseon, the first kingdom of Korea's kid of Wanun. So the story is like this. Wanun wants to live in Earth because he is worried by mortals and such. With 3,000 followers, Wanun arrives Mount Paektu, where he founds the city of Sinsi, the city of the god. He becomes the celestial king. Wanun and his ministers established the laws and taught cultural things like they taught agriculture, writing, and these kind of things. A tiger and a bear wanted to be humans, so they must be in a cave for 100 days and feeding with kind of onions. But the tiger got tired and left, and the bear stayed in the cave for the whole time. So at the end, the bear became a woman. This woman was kind of sad because she wanted to have children, but nobody wanted to be with her. So Wanun takes her as a wife, and then they have a kid that is Dangun Wangeon. This one. Dangun becomes the king and he builds the city of Asadal near Pyongyang. That was the beginning of the kingdom of Gojoseon. So this is a story. Taegeuk, a very important symbol in Korea, similar to the Chinese yin and yang. The Sam Taegeuk. I'm going to change this. The Sam Taegeuk is a variation of three colors symbolizing humanity, land, and sky. So it's humanity, land, sky. Okay, before continuing, because now I already start with art, I'm going to talk about mythology now, and it's going to be very quick. Another interesting story is the creational story of Mireuk and Sokka. Also, remember specifically Mireuk. I'm going to write the name Mireuk because later we will see a temple related with him. So this is the story of Mireuk and Sokka. Also, you can find with the name of Sokka or Seokka. Um, I'm going to see if I find a picture. Mireuk and Sokka. It's very hard to find content related with this. I just let this picture because no idea what else to put. So Mireuk is the creational god. He's related with Maitreya, that is the future Buddha. And Sokka is the god who descends from heaven, and this is associated with Sakyamuni, the historic Buddha. At the beginning, it was chaos, and Mireuk separated the sky and the earth. He created the sun, the moon, and the stars. He was tired and wanted to eat rice, but he didn't know how to make fire and where to find water. A mice told him how to make fire with some stones and where to find water. After eating, he created the humans, he created the men with gold, and he created the woman with silver. And then, randomly, Sokka appears and he wants the world for himself. So they do some tests, and Mireuk is always winning, but Sokka was always doing tricks. So Mireuk got tired of the tricks of Sokka, and this is how Mireuk abandoned the world. Because this, the humans became superstitious. I think it's superstition. It's like the origin of evil. Superstitious, yes. And then just naming a few gods like Haemosu, the god of the sun. He has a magic sword and rides chariots um, with dragons. Dalnin, the goddess of the moon, and sister of Haemosu. She climbs she climbs very high to the sky. She arrives the moon, and this is how she becomes the goddess of the moon. And there are other gods like Jeomna, the great king of the underworld, that is related with the Hindu Yama. There are also other gods like goddess of the of fate and luck, goddess of birth and protector of the moms and such. Uh, okay, a very important character is Paritegi. Paritegi. Okay, this one is good enough, I suppose. You can also find it as. You can also find her with the name of Pari or also Bari, Baritegi. Like, you can find it with all these names, or Paritegi, or Baritegi, or Pari, or Bari. Um, it is the prince. I'm going to call her just Paritegi. Princess Paritegi, the fierce shaman, the seventh princess, the abandoned princess. She gets the elixir of life, and she became a guide for the souls to the underworld. And this is her story. A king and a queen, they wanted to have a son to be the heir, but the queen had 7 daughters. With the last one, they were very tired of having daughters all the time, so they abandoned her and she was adopted. When the kings were going to die, they called the seventh daughter. Um, she accepts to go to the underworld to get the elixir of life. In there, she marries with the wizard Musang and they have children. Finally, she returns to the world of the living. The kings are dead, but she revives them with the elixir of life. Then it's like the kings want her to be the heir, but then she says that she wants to be the ancestor of the shamans and that her work must be to guide the dead to the underworld. So it's very nice character. I like this one. And then other kind of important characters like the Teal Sung These are the 7 star, the 7 gods that bless with good luck and longevity. It's these ones. Then there is John Wang, the Dragon Lord. The Korean dragons are benevolent. They live in aquatic environments. They control the weather. And then some other characters like Mago Almi, a Haiyan goddess called also the Grandma Mago. She creates geologic formations. Then there is another that is called Teon Jiwan Bonpuri. Jiwan Bonpuri. This is another creational myth from the island of Jeju. Cheonjiwan is the celestial king. He comes down from the skies to fight against Sumyeongjanja, the annoying man, but he fails. He marries with Baki Wang and she gives birth to 2 kids called the Biel Wang and Sobiel Wang, the kings of the stars. Both compete to rule. Sobiel Wang wins and he punishes Sumyeongjanja, transforming him into an insect. The Biel One rules in the underworld. Another interesting deities, very curious for me, are the Sonim. The Sonim. These are the gods. I don't know how to. Like a good picture or something. Korea. You see, it's very hard to find information or pictures about this. These are the gods of smallpox. I think it is like this. Something like this, I suppose. Smallpox demo. Well, the Sonim are the gods of the smallpox. It's like it depends how you treat them. If you treat them well, then they are good. But if you treat them bad, then they make you to get ill of smallpox and you die. This is something that applies to all the Korean Korean gods and goddesses. They are not related as family like it happens with the Greeks or the Norse and such. They are independent and they behave according to how they are treated. If you treat them good, then they are good with you. If you treat them bad, then they are bad with you. I tell a few. I show a few interesting creatures like the Aetai. It's a kind of dog or lion, something like that. Another one is the Wisin. These are the Korean ghosts. Another is the Cholima, a winged horse. The Umiho, a nine-tailed fox, like the Japanese kitsune. The Dokebi, Korean goblins. Not exactly this, but goblin. It's like something like this. Some Sanjoko, a bird with 3 legs, that represents the sun or light or lives in the sun. The Inyeonjo, it's a kind of bird with face of human, something like this, I think. Um, Another one is the Sandugumi, a kind of monster spirit from the Jeju Island that has 3 heads and nine tails. Okay, now some folk tales that I found kind of interesting, like Samani, who lives 3,000 years. Samani has 30 years old and he's going to die because in the Book of the Dead says so. But he does some rituals and then the messengers of the underworld change 30 for 3,000, and this is how Samani lives 3,000 years. Another story, a husband and wife fight for a rice cake. Both of them want to eat a rice cake, but there is only one. They bet to be in silence, and the one who talks loses. Um, Stealer, a robbery, enters to steal, and even like this, they stay silent. Finally, the woman screams to make that the stealer go away, and so the husband wins the rice cake, but he's very stupid. Then the woman is like, "You are stupid. You are doing this useless contest, and we have been robbed and such." And finally, the last one is Palgan Maseukeu Geoha. So this is the if you remember from Japanese myths and stories, I think this one is better. The Kuchisake Onna, the woman of the good mouth. No remember exactly how was the exact words, but like this monster, like so you see. So in the Japanese one, it was like she was killed by like in the past she was killed by her husband because she was unfaithful, and then the husband cut her mouth and say, "Do you think you are beautiful now?" And so then she dies, and she returns to a bench. It's like she has the mouth like this, and she asks the victims if she's beautiful, like she's covered with the mask or like the dress like this. And then the person replies, "Yes, you are beautiful," and then she removes it. She let the mouth um, to be seen, and then she asks again, "I'm still beautiful," and then depending what you answer or how you react, then she will kill you or she will make your mouth to be the same or such. So there is also a Korean version. The Korean is like this, and she has the mask is red, and it's very. I like this story a lot. The Korean version is like this: a woman who has many plastic surgeries to become more beautiful. Everything is fine, but in the last surgery, the doctor became became ill and is substituted by a apprentice, by a noob. So she gets the operation, but because the new doctor was a noob, then he lets the mouth to be like this. So the mask is red because the blood of the scars, and the behavior with the victims is pretty much the same as the Japanese version. So this is all I have to say about Korean mythology. So I'm going to continue with art now. Origins. Among the various remains there are ceramics, various objects, and dolmens. The first manifestation and from around 7000 BCE. Whole moon pottery with conical form, moon pottery, big ceramic without decoration, used to cook or stock, Bronze objects started to appear with pieces as swords, daggers, and other things like mirrors. These things were buried in the dolmens. Okay. So these are the swords and objects. One for the ceramics. The full moon. And the moon. Full moon. Full moon pottery. Wait, most of the art is going to be from the last dynasty. Like half of the art is from Joseon dynasty. So it's going to be very quick. Moon pottery. And then the swords. Like how do you say this? Bronze objects. Kokok, also called Gobiunok or Gogot, it is a piece carved to simulate bear clouds. In the image, they are from the tomb of Kim Muryeong from the 6th century, but this is a good example. So kind of makes sense considering the story of Dangun, right? These bear things. Iron Age began at around 300 BCE with Chinese and Japanese influences. Among the construction of dolmens, there are the sites of Gochang, Huasun, and Ganhua. The representation of Neolithic homes is a reconstruction. One more picture. It is this one, I think. Neolithic reconstruction. Okay, I'm going to add also the dolmen. Ganhua. Ganhua. Dolmen. and the other is Neolithic home. Neolithic homes reconstruction. Three kingdoms. The three kingdoms and the Goguryeo, Baekje, and Silla. I'm not very sure if this is pronounced Silla or Silla. I'm going to pronounce it like Silla, but not very sure. At the end of the 7th century, Silla established an alliance with the Chinese Tang dynasty, and so it defeated the Goguryeo and Baekje kingdoms. After this, the territories united Silla, or unified Silla, unified Silla, although it wasn't the full unification of Korea. Goryeo or Goryeo. Okay, I'm going to explain this because these are different transliteration systems. So, in the past when I was studying, I used this like for understanding better how it is translated. Like for example, you see like this, Jeonju, Yeonju. It is the same. It's just different transcription. So if you see like these names like this, when you see O like with this symbol, or also a U, just appears like this with this symbol, but U, then it is translated as E and the vowel. So in this case it is O, so it is translated as EO. And if it is U, then it will be EU. And then there are some other rules, like for example, the K and the G, it is also like equivalent. So well, so you understand why this like Goguryeo and Koguryo, it is just different ways of transliteration, and it seems that this way is the last one that I read was approved in the year 2000, and it is like the official way of transliteration of South Korea. So well, this is why just I suppose this transliteration is the most common when you search for information in the internet and such. Anyway, Goryeo or Goryeo was founded by Jumon, and the capital city was Pyongyang. This is in North Korea. And by the way, I'm going to show the map again. So you see this is Goryeo, and then there is the Baekje, the Silla, and this is a very small kingdom of Gaya. Here just another map. You see the Goryeo. It was very big. Was the biggest of all. Here it is the capital city, Pyongyang. Then the Baekje, the capital city was Gyeongju Puyu, uh, was here, and then the Silla, the capital city was Gyeongju, and then well, the Gaya kingdom was very small. Okay, going again to this. Goryeo, the capital city is Pyongyang. About art, there are the ruins of Wando Mountains, the tombs of Goryeo with paintings depicting daily life of the Koreans. The tomb of the general in China, probably the tomb of kings Weito and Jiangsu, and gilt bronze of Buddha. Most interesting one is the tombs of Goryeo. And they have very nice paintings. This is the ruins of the Wando Mountain. I'm going to see the first. These are the tombs, I think. Yes. The tomb of King Tongmyeon. These are the tombs. You see very nice painting, especially this picture. I like it very much. Tomb of the General. And this is the Buddha. The bronze Buddha. Okay, let's see how I do this. This is the range of Wando Mountain. Then the Tombs of Goryeo. Of King Dong Myung. Dong Myung. Now some paintings. I'm going to edit this because space. I want to put um this one. This is Goryeo. Tombs of Goryeo. And one more for this Tomb of the General and the Buddha. Paikhe or Paikhe was founded by Onju and the capital region was Gyeongju-Puyo. Capital city, I suppose. Capital city here also, yes. Capital city was Gyeongju-Puyo. Pagoda of the Temple of Chongri, and by the way, let me check the points. Okay, it's fine. Pagoda of the Temple of Chongri and Mireoksa. This is why I said you remember Mireok, that is associated with the Maitreya, the future Buddha. So you see Mireoksa, and also another thing. When you see Sa, then it refers to temple. Like you later, I will show more temples, and you will see all of them ends in Sa. So I think when it ends in Sa, it is a temple. So Mireuksa, the greatest temple, it is the temple of Mireuk. At the time, there were 3 pagodas, 2 made of stone at the sides and 1 made of wood in the center. Currently, only the western pagoda has survived, and a gold plate with text was found, a great example of Korean calligraphy. The eastern pagoda is a reconstruction. This is mostly the best example of the Three Kingdoms architecture. Very sure if I have space for the last one. This is the reconstruction. I'm going to add this in another. This is the the west pagoda. Western pagoda of Mireutsa. Another reconstructions. There was a picture with, you see this one, this reconstruction is very interesting. So you see this is the eastern and western pagodas, and then this will be the center of the temple. It's nothing remains, but it's very interesting reconstruction. So this reconstruction and this. Mireuxa reconstruction. And then this golden plate. Tomb of King Muryeong. In this tomb, many objects were found as earrings and pendants. Zeus and Buddha, representation of the Baekje smile. Incense burner, a very important piece, very different to the contemporary Chinese hand pieces. The dragon and the phoenix suggest the yin and yang. Probably two, since the tomb is very big, like the picture of this tomb is big. This is jewelry, the Buddha, and the, the incense burner. Hello, Technical K. Just cleaning the kitchen now. Fun fact, the Korean word sa temple is borrowed from Chinese si. Oh, so it is true that sa means temple. Very nice. I just knew this by just assuming it from Chinese si. So in Chinese, I suppose si means temple. It's like, and in Japanese, then it is ji. Like I'm going to write it ji in Japanese because you see, for example, the Oryuji. I'm going to write it Oryuji. So it's the temple of Oryu. Tomb of King Muryeong. And now some jewelry. It's very beautiful jewelry. I want to put all the pictures. So this will be earrings. Baekje jewelry. I'm going to Baekje jewelry. The Silla also have very good jewelry. And a last picture for this Buddha and the incense burner. Zeus and Buddha and the incense burner. Let me check. Zeus and Buddha. And the other just Baekje incense burner. Sense Warner is very nice. I'm going to open the big picture so you can see better. You see here, it's like dragon, or it's like has a bit the same of dragon, and this is the phoenix. Very beautiful. Okay, now the Silla. Silla was founded by Bak Yeonkyose, and the capital city was Gyeongju. Tombs of Gyeongju have many golden objects where here many golden objects were found, especially the tomb of Wangnan Daechong is the most important. Among the treasures there is a gold and jade crown, a belt, a golden hat, and earrings. Wangnyongsa Pagoda destroyed, the image is a reconstruction, and Bungwangsa, built under the supervision of Queen Seondeok, used to ask Buddha for prosperity. So these are the crown, lot of jewelry, more pendants. This is the Wangnyongsa Pagoda. And this is the Bungpansa. Yes, Bungpansa. Okay. Thinking how to do this. Here I'm going to add the pagoda. You can play as Queen Seondeok in the Civilization 6 game. Yes, I haven't played those games, but I remember checking Wikipedia search for the different factions and the different rulers that they have, like the historic characters. It's very cool. Not very sure if I'm going to add all the pictures of this. The crown, probably I can put it here. By the way, do you have any idea how this Silla is pronounced? Because I don't know if it is Silla or Silla. I just pronounce it Silla, but not very sure if it is correct. Well, we have talked about pronunciations at other times, and it's like there are no totally correct, at least if you are foreigner, but still I'm curious. It's like Silla. Isn't Silla a chair? Yes, Silla in Spanish is chair. Okay, so I'll keep pronouncing it as Silla. Well, I'm just remembering now because in Japanese, in one of the Japanese books that I read, uh, it was one about historic events, and there was a man that was called Mikado, And I was just thinking all the time that is this the Mikado that is like a chocolate thing. So it was all the time I read the I don't know if it was Emperor Mikado or something like that, and I was thinking all the time the Emperor chocolate stick. Just I just try to add some funny thoughts when reading about rulers and war stuff. I'm going to add all of this because this Sila jewelry is very important. There is a lot. Hat, these pendants. Give me a moment to add these pictures quickly. Also, this hat is like golden hat, but obviously it's not made of gold, I suppose. At least it doesn't look like gold. Famous from the wrong reasons. You mean the Emperor Mikado? I think it was not Emperor, but like a powerful person. It appeared at different times in the story. If it's gold, then that hat is super uncomfortable. Well, yes, I suppose if it is gold, then it should weight. It must be kind of heavy. So I don't think it's gold. I'm going to check for like close up. Or maybe yes, maybe it's gold. From far, it doesn't look like gold. It looks more like I don't know how to say the material, but like these Vietnam hats. But then doing the close up, you see that yes, I think it's gold. Well, but it might be uncomfortable, but at least they can say that they wear a golden hat. Okay, now this pagoda. Wang Nyongsa pagoda. So the Korean names are super long. Later, there will appear some places whose names are super long. Very hard for me to pronounce. And then this picture. Also, I like this. I suppose festivities where they put these decorations here. There will appear another temple, and I have pictures of it with this decoration, and it's very beautiful. This is the Boom Wangsa. Also, another language question for you. This, oh yeah, interesting. Yes. Another question for you. I have seen this wa or one, not very sure what will be the correct syllable. But I have seen this appearing many times, both in names of people and also buildings. any idea what it means? I remember I asked this question to a Korean person a long time ago, but I don't remember the answer. Like, I write um, some words where this appears. Maybe it's just coincidence, or maybe not. Wani, Wanung, this one Wangsa. Also, there is a fortress that is called how it was called Waseon. Also from a game, I remember that a word that was Wangseon. So, do you have any idea? Because this appears a lot. So this Wa means something, or it's just coincidence? About this Gaia, there is also the state of Gaia, interesting by their ceramic with shape of houses. These are very cute. I have here these word pads. So these houses things is like this. One and Hua have so many meanings, mostly because it's just a syllable. Yes, so in these names, do you think it's just coincidence? Because I remember, for example, this Wangcheon in that game was a kind of fortress of darkness, like the one in Bongwangsa means imperial. Oh, okay, interesting. So in this one, it is also like this. Bongwangsa means fragrant imperial temple. Oh, okay, okay, very interesting. So this Wangcheon, maybe it's also something like that. So Cheon also has some meaning, I suppose. There is also a character with it Cheon, like a character that is called Cheon Ji1. So you see this one also has this Cheon. So maybe Cheon means also something. I'm pretty sure this Hwaseon has also something like fortress. I don't know. No, the one in Wanjeon means yellow. You mean in this one? I'm going to search for this. Maybe I can see a picture. One. Yeah. So this game doesn't exist anymore. Not sure if I'm going to find out. So it was something like this. In the game, it was like a kind of darkness fortress. One yellow rice field. So the Jeon that you say is like another way to spell the Jeon. So bad I don't have. I can't find pictures of this. I have very good memories of this game. Oh, what you mean Wangcheon? Yes, in Wangcheon. Um, I'm going to see if I have some pictures here. Probably not because I don't have the game here. No, I don't have the game in this hard drive, so cancel. Well, it was like a kind of darkness, fortress of darkness. Well, anyway, I'm going to continue. Wang in Wangcheon also means yellow, but Wangcheon is like netherworld. Okay, it makes sense. Makes sense. Interesting. I knew that these names have um, some meaning. Wangcheon, yellow spring, or a place where demons live. Okay, very nice. Thank you. Raya House, ceramics. Okay, next period, the Unified Silla. The kingdom of Silla conquered Baekje and Goryeo kingdoms with the help of the Chinese Tang dynasty. Unified Silla had to fight against Balhae, another kingdom. The last Silla king, Gyeongsun, gave the government to the kingdom of Goryeo, and the art flourished in the capital city, Jeonju. Okay, now here there are very beautiful buildings. Palace of Lake Anapji, situated in the northeast of Bangwolseong. It is a complex built by order of King Munmu. Much of it was destroyed and rebuilt. It is a great example of Korean garden. Let's see what pictures I have. So it's this palace with the lake. It's very beautiful. This is a panoramic. I want to add this picture. Yes, but probably I have to put it a bit. Okay, more pictures. At least probably two more. Or one more. The reconstruction. This is one of the places that I like to visit someday. And I remember in the game Aragami that it's the ambience is Japan, but there was a level that reminds me to this palace a lot. Let me see if I find it. It is Aragami. It is this game. A lake. Probably not going to find any picture of that. But in this game, like the first one, not the second one. In this game, there was a level that is like a palace, pretty much like this, and it was very, very nice. Bulguksa, you see here another temple that ends in the south, just like Mireuksa. Now this one is Bulguksa. A Buddhist temple that saves a lot of treasures, as two pagodas, Kadeseok-gatap and Dabotap, the bridge Cheongung-gyo, a golden statues of Buddha. This is the temple that is very beautiful with the decorations, like see here these decorations. I like this very much. So now this Buddha. The pagodas. It is this one and this one. These current pagodas look more like commemorative monument. Like it reminds me that probably they have the same utility as, for example, the triumphal arches of the Romans, because they are obviously not pagodas like buildings that you can enter like in Japanese art. And these pictures are so beautiful. I want to add them all, but it is too much. I think better I add this because the bridge, not the bridge, the stairs. Seokuram. It is a Buddhist cave in Mount Tohan that contains a great statue of Buddha, reliefs, and paintings. Trying to find this picture. I don't see it. This one. Okay, so one of the reliefs and one of the painting. Pagodas. In the examples, those are the pagodas of Yungyang, Yangnak, Chileu, and Kameunsa. Probably not going to add all of them. Yunnan, Yangnak. Just going to add two. The Kameunsa. Pagoda of Yangnak. And Pagoda of Kameunsa. Beopjusa, a Buddhist temple at Songnisan built by a monk called Guisin. It was a very important place in Goryeo period but entered in decadence in Joseon period. The pagoda of Pasanjeon is probably the oldest and tallest pagoda of Korea, and also it is made of wood. And Sangbonsa, a Buddhist temple of Jeongbilla established by the Zen priest Cheolgam. It has the pagoda of Daeonjeon, the gate Iljumun, and the stupa and monument of Cheolgam. One for each place. Now these are places located in mountain places. These are like sanctuaries. Obviously, what picture I'm going to add about that. If I find it. This one. And then the other one. Samboxa. This is harder to choose what one. Maybe this picture and the other. This is the same building, I think. Mm, or probably not. I think I'm going to add the gates better. Pero usa and bonza. And then the next one is one of my favorites, Cheongryangsa. A temple located at Mount Cheongnyansan, built by monk Bonkyo. According to Feng Shui, this is a great place to build a temple because there are 12 mountain peaks surrounding it as lotus petals. I would love to visit this place someday. This one is in the mountain. Very beautiful. This picture I have to edit it a bit. Cheongryangsa. I'm going to add 2 pictures more of this. This one and this one. Sculpture examples depicting Buddha, Vairocana, and a bodhisattva, and the bell of King Seongdeok, an enormous bronze bell with reliefs. Buddha, the bodhisattva, and the bell. Okay, finished this period. Goryeo. The Goryeo dynasty, also called Koryo, was founded by King Wangeon that unified the three kingdoms of Korea. He established the capital city in Gaeseong, and Buddhism was the official religion. Most of all the architecture of this period is lost because it was made of wood. There are some pagodas like Sudeoksa, Gyeongseongsa, Boljeon, and Muryangsujeon. Um, going to add a picture of this ruler. In Banggeon. And now pagodas. Sudeoksa, Gyeongseongsa. These names are very hard. Sudeoksa, Boljeon, and Muryang Sujeon. About painting, there are very beautiful Buddhist paintings. In the images, I just added some examples. Uh, Ji Jaeyeon, a Confucianist painter. These are the Buddhist paintings, and this is the other painting. think I'm just going to add those two. And then this painter. These paintings and G, yeah, yeah. And last thing, the Celadon porcelain. Celadon is a kind of pottery that was also famous in China because it can reach the color of jade, a sacred stone. They were for the nobles and for Buddhist temples. This is the green ceramic, the green porcelain. This one that has like kind of dragon is very cool. Okay, now the last part. The Joseon dynasty, longest period. The Joseon dynasty, also called Joseon, was founded by Taejo of Joseon, that moved the capital city again to Seoul. And the capital city to Seoul. Buddhism was forbidden and Confucianism was the main ideology. Culture flourished, but the dynasty was weakened by the Japanese invasions. Hmm. I don't want to put this here. Taejo of Joseon. Jeonju, Gyeongju, Confucian schools, Dosan, Seowon, and Dosan, Seowon, and Gosan, Seowon, Confucian schools for rich people. Yeonju, Yeonju, Dosan, Seowon, and Gosan, Seowon. Now the fortresses. There are fortresses, temples, and then some palace. Waseong Fortress. It is in the city of Suwon, built by King Jeonjo for the rest of his father. It combines various styles and it is one of the most important fortresses of Korea. Other ones like Baldamun Gate on Suwon, Jeonju Fortress, Jinjuseong Fortress, Goheon Fortress. This one is the Paldalmon Gate in Suwon. The next one, the Jeongju Fortress. And this, the Jinjuseong Fortress. About temples, most of them were burned in the Japanese invasion and rebuilt later, like the Hwaeomsa, Geumsansa. There will be different temples here now. The three jewels temples are the three main Buddhist temples of Korea, each one representing one jewel of Buddhism, and Tongdosa it represents Buddha. Oh, Tongdosa is one of them. These are the three temples: Tongdosa, Gainsa, and Songwangsa. Or not? I think I'm a bit confused. Hmm. Oh yes, are the three ones. They are in different places, but they are the three. So I'm going to mix this. So they are the three jewels temples are the Tongdosa, it represents Buddha, the Ahimsa, it represents Dharma, the Buddhist teachings, it has the Tripitaka, the Korean Tripitaka. A collection of Buddhist texts recorded in around 80,000 pieces of wood. And the Songwang site represents Sangha, the Buddhist community. at least one picture of each. I want to put at least one picture of the sculpture. But this is too big. From Dosha a Aimsa. This. And the last one is Song Wangsa. This one's very beautiful. But not going to add that picture since it is only the decorations. It is saving. Song Bang. More. The Jongmyo, a Confucian shrine dedicated to the ancestors of the Joseon kings, and Bongangsa pagoda made of marble. And these are the last temples. Okay, I'm going to add the pagoda first. And then the Jongmyo. Okay, now palace. Gyeongbokgung, it was the main palace of the Joseon dynasty and one of the five palaces of Seoul. Other ones are like the Changdeokgung, Changgyeonggung, and Deoksugung. Deokgung, Changgyeonggung, and Deoksu. Gyeongbokgung, is one of the interior also. Okay. Now put in the pictures. It is missing now mostly some painting and then a bit of contemporaneity, and that's all. Changdeokgung, Changgyeonggung, And the last one. Deok Sugung. The Jeju Garden, an example of Korean garden. Now painting. Painting flourished in this period, and even if Buddhism was persecuted, it wasn't finished. It wasn't ended. And Yeon, from the first period, he made landscapes, and Seo Munbo from second period, more realist landscapes. This is An Yeon and Seo Munbo. One of each. The third period is the golden age of Korean painting. Korean art tried to go away from the Chinese influence to have its own style. And now different painters. Jeon Seon, specialist in mountain landscapes. Jun Do-seo, specialist in portraits and representation of people. Kim Hong-do, also called Dan Won. He painted very realist scenes. Sing Jung-bok, also called Hye-won, courtesan painter, more erotic. Jang Seung-eop, also called Oh-won, that along with Dan Won and Hyo-won, they are known as the three wons of Joseon painting. Sang Ke-wang and Nam Kye-woo, specialist in butterflies. one, this one. I'm going to put one from each painter. John Doseo. Kim Hong-do. Jumbo. To add one more here. It's one of the butterflies. It's one of my favorites. The one and non you. White porcelain, very beautiful pottery with discreet decoration. It reflects the ideals of the Confucian ideology, and I think this is a typo or not. Okay. And the last part, contemporary. Late Joseon with this is painting. Kim Jeong-hui, calligrapher and specialist in flowers. Cho Seok-jin and An Jung-sik. This more paint. So some painter for Late Joseon and then some painting from modern. Contemporaneity. Painting. Or I used to be like this. Go Huidong, also known as Jungkook, he was the first Korean painter to adopt Western styles, merging it with Korean traditional painting. And another is Su Jong-soo. And now just some buildings. Floating Islands of Seoul, Hyundai Park Marina, Side Bridge, Jeju Crystal House, Yongno Tower, Ryungjong Hotel. Probably two or three. This hotel from North Korea for me it's very cool. It looks like a spaceship. Punk no tower. And this is the Ryung Jong Hotel. Okay, and it's finished. Now just reading the artworks, and then I'm going to play the artistic adventure. I'm just going to write Mireux 3 or 4. This is going to need some format. Yes, as I imagined. Format just breaks all the time. Oh my God. Production origins, Goryeo, Baekje. Baekje, Shinya, Gaia, Universal, Goryeo, Joseon, Contemporary. Okay, finish it now. Give me a moment. So now I'm just missing the artistic adventure. Neolithic. มาHuang Relic of Silla. Jewelry. Inner Necropolis. Relic of Darius. Unified Sea. Temple of Two Roots. The Kingdom of Silva was allied with the Chinese Tang and they defeated the other kingdoms. Relief of Silva. these are the three temples of the jewel. Tongdosa represents Buddha, Hainsa represents Dharma, the teaching, Songwasha represents Sangha. You contain the jewel of the three temples. This is what's Taiyo of the Waseo Fortress. Very big temple. The Huaonza. So I'm finished. Now that I have seen that of the stairs, I want to check something. So I'm finished. I hope you enjoyed and you learned with this. I'm going to finish now. So see you next time. And thank you for watching.